And I can tell you all, especially those of you that are workers here and know that I'm also a worker here at this center, you didn't see me at all during the month of December. And it wasn't because I was out partying. It's because I caught a case of the flu. I did not get a flu shot. And the case of flu was so serious, I was down in bed for almost 3 weeks. And I even get the COVID test. It came back negative. I wait 3 days. I take another COVID test. It was negative. It was worse than the time I got COVID. I don't ever recall being so sick in my life. And so for 3 weeks, I was sick for so long, I forgot what being well felt like. I literally forgot what it's like to wake up and feel good, to wake up and have energy, to wake up and be excited about making meals and bathing and working and loving and interacting with people. I just, after I think the second week, I literally forgot what it was like. I could not remember being well. And so I was scheduled to give this talk the middle of December. So got sick at the beginning of December. Well, I assumed by the middle of December I would be fine. I was not fine by the middle of December. I was still very ill. And so it was right around that time I'd started working on the presentation during the second week because I'd started listening to this song, a song by Alexia Chelin that I'm going to have Luigi play for us in a little bit. But it was when I began to listen to this song that had these very beautiful lyrics about healing that I could feel my body begin to start to get better. But I still was not 100% by the time I was to give this talk. I was still coughing a lot. And I did not think it would be an act of love to show up here in a shared environment, coughing and sneezing and blowing my nose. I did not see how that would be love. And so I let Leonardo know I was not able to come. And I then began to tell people I really wasn't feeling well because I was afraid that if I talked about being sick, that I was going to make the sickness worse, right? So but there's nothing I could do. I had a commitment here. I could not keep it. It was the first time I've ever not kept a spiritual commitment because of a physical illness. It was the first time that had happened to me. And so, and I'm also a very robustly healthy person. I don't have health problems. So why talk about healing? So this happened, and I've been under the treatment of the spiritual hospital here for some time for another concern. So I was showed to the physical, I showed up for the spiritual surgery, I think that Friday after I was supposed to speak. And the doctors there performed some magnetic treatment on me. And one of our workers here, Cynthia, she offered some distance magnetic healing for me. She gave me 2 treatments, distance magnetic treatment. And then it was after those 3 things I noticed I was breathing easier. I started to feel better again, and I started to remember what it felt like to be well. It was scary, and I think the scary part was not being sick. The scary part was not in my mind able to remember what it was like to be well. So why talk about healing? Because it's an important thing to talk about. I am not an expert in healing. This is just simply my experience listening to this song and the effect that it had on me. But first, I think it's important to talk about, what is healing. I always like to look at what the definitions are, even though English is my first language, right? I know the letters might be small, but there's a verb and a noun and an adjective, right? So the verb is to make free from injury or disease, to make sound or whole, right? That's when we are in the act of healing. This is what we are doing when we're offering magnetism. This is what our spiritual doctors are doing for spiritual treatment, for surgery. This is what is happening when we undergo a course of treatment from a trained medical professional, right? They are healing us. But then the noun, what is healing? What's the actual? It's the process, right, of becoming healthy again. Because would we need healing if we are not healthy? If we're healthy, do we need healing? That's a question. And then the adjective is the properties of something, right? For example, the magnetized water that we receive here at the center, it's healing. It lends towards healing. It's therapy. It's a form of fluidotherapy is what we call it, right? It's a treatment through magnetic water. But what else is healing? This can't possibly be everything that healing is. This is what the dictionary says. So I would ask you all, what is healing? Is healing anything else besides what the dictionary tells us? I would ask you all. I know there's magnetizers in the room. I know we have workers in the room. What is healing? I would like to ask you all. Any thoughts? What is healing? In addition to these things. Any thoughts? Okay. Well, we'll come back to that. In the meantime, Luigi, can you play the song for me? Can you play the song? So there's a song that I was listening to, and I would like you all to listen to just the first part of it. I have the words up here. We're just going to listen to the first couple of minutes of it.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think what is healing is the intention. Like what Cynthia did to you from distance was the intention. That she probably, heal you because she put all the intention towards to you, the positive, mind, and in order to help you.
The intention.
The intention.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know why I can't make this go back. Wow, I just made it stop working completely. What did I do? Okay. Yes. So it's the verb to make free from injury or disease, to make sound or whole, right? That verb requires the intention, just like in the magnetism, right? It starts with our intention, the goodwill, the wanting to offer. I 100% agree with that. And that's not part of this definition. Thank you. I think there's a lot to healing that's not listed here. This can't possibly be a complete description of healing, 3 definitions from Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I think we have more to it, but yeah, 100% agree. What else? What else is, we're good? Okay, so we're going to play this song for you. Just the first part of it. It's 30 minutes long and it repeats itself over and over. We're just gonna listen to 2 minutes.
My body, mind, and spirit are healthy. 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 I give thanks for the health of my being. I see my cells and atoms healed. Every day I bless the health I have, and I say, my body, mind, and spirit are healthy. 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 I give thanks for the health of my being. I see my cells and atoms healed. Every day I bless the health I have, and I
played it on a loop, and I just listened to it over and over that last week, the last like week and a half. And I could feel myself getting better and better and better. And so this is the words to the song. It just repeats itself for 30 minutes. We can put the link to the song in our info BSS for those of you that want to hear it. But the reason why I chose this is because chose this song to share it with you is because of the profound difference in the way that I felt after listening to it. And for those of you that spend time studying, you know there are things that we read and hear that change the way we think, and there are things that we read and hear that change the way that we feel. And it is when we change the way that we feel that true transformation begins. And so the talk today will be relatively brief. I'm just going to spend a little time talking about each one of these lines. And so, let's see if I make this work. Turn it off, turn it back on. Okay, there we go. So, how are you all feeling right now? You walked in a certain state of mind. We listened to this song for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Does anybody feel differently after listening to that song? Anybody feel differently? Yeah? Feel differently? Calmer? Okay. You raise your hand. How are you feeling different?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, relaxed.
Feel relaxed. Okay. Anybody else feel different after listening to the song? Okay. Sometimes we feel different, but we don't have the words. Sometimes the capacity to name shifts in our feeling. The words don't come as quickly as the change in feeling. And if there was no change, that's good information too. And so each line of the song I want to talk about. So the first thing she says is, my body, mind, and spirit are healthy. So I would ask you all, what is a healthy body? What's a healthy body? That's my question to you. How do we know if we have a healthy body? What would you say?
Pain-free.
Pain-free, okay. What else? A healthy body has no pain. You can have no pain and be lying on the floor, unable to walk, and unable to think clearly. So pain-free is good. Mm-hmm. What else is a healthy body? No pain, I love that. That's important. What else? No sickness. Okay, a healthy body has no sickness. Okay, no sickness and no pain. Okay, would we agree that that's the... So what if you have no sickness and no pain, and yet the body is emaciated and weak? There's no sickness and there's no pain. What if there's no sickness and there's no pain, but the body is very overweight? So what else would we add besides no sickness, no pain?
Strength.
Okay.
Or be able to do what usually everybody does.
Okay, able to do what usually people do. Okay, so ability to engage in daily activities, strong, no pain, no sickness. Okay. What else? Like, let's really think about this for a minute, because when I tell you that I forgot what it was like to feel well, it made me really think, what is wellness? What is health? We should meditate on this. Like, we're in these bodies for however long we're in these bodies. We do have, we own these bodies don't own us, but yet we still are charged with the care of this body. Anything else anyone would add? No pain, no sickness, strength, ability to engage in daily activities. Anything else you would add? It's not a trick question. There's no I don't have a thing I'm going to click and I say, this is what the answer is. We're just talking, right?
Functioning body.
Functioning body. Okay. All right. What about a healthy mind? If we say my mind, body, and spirit are healthy, what is a healthy mind? Which is separate from no pain in the body, no disease in the body, a body functioning, a strong body. A mind is something different, right? So what's a healthy mind?
Having positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts. Yes. What else? Confidence. Okay.
The ability to administrate what we think.
The ability to
Administrate what we think.
administrate what we think, right? To have control over our thoughts. So there's positive thoughts and then being able to control it. I agree with all of this. Again, this is not a trick question. But if we are in this community together, this spiritual community together, we're also in a learning environment together where I am not the teacher. I am learning with you all, right? I'm sharing information, but we learn together. What else is a healthy mind? Anything else you would add? If we think about everything we said about the body, strong. So a strong mind would mean the ability to administer our thoughts, to control our thoughts, the ability to think positive when we want to. In our study earlier, we talked about the importance of choosing a positive meaning to assign to the things that happen to our life. And the ability to make that choice would require the ability to administer our thoughts and the ability to think positive. It would require the strength to resist against the intrusive thoughts that would have us think otherwise, right? So, okay. Anything else with a healthy mind? I would say a healthy mind can concentrate. Because when I was physically sick, I had a problem mentally concentrating. Because we can't administer our thoughts if we can't concentrate, right? We know that the ability to concentrate is essential for meditation, for mediumship, for magnetism, right? The ability to concentrate is key. What about a healthy spirit? If we say my mind, body, and spirit are healthy, what's a healthy spirit? What would you all say? I don't have the answers. This is just a song that's here to invite dialogue. What's a healthy spirit? What did you say? I can't understand.
No obsession.
No obsession. Sure, right. A spirit that is operating on its own, right? Without being under the interference of other spirits. Sure, I would agree with that. What else is a healthy spirit? Think about that for a minute. Is that such a thing? Is there a thing? I'm asking you all. I don't have the answers.
Knowing that there's much more to it than what you're seeing and feeling.
I'm gonna say that in case the folks are online did not hear you without a mic. Is knowing that there is more to this existence than what we're seeing or feeling. I love that. Because our spirit isn't, our body's having this experience and the body's temporary and the spirit's eternal. So the spirit is here with us, right? And our ability to grow as spirits is to disconnect as much as possible from addiction to all of the physicality of this world and experience the remembrance of the temporary nature of this body and the eternality of the spirit. So it's knowing there's much more. I would agree with that. So we'll make our way through the rest of this song. There's probably more questions than answers in this talk because sometimes the best experiences we can have are thinking through questions that we can't exactly answer yet and finding the answer inside of ourselves. There's no one of us that has all of the answers for each other. But to me, a good conversation is one where really good questions are asked and it helps me think about things differently. So the next line is, I give thanks for the health of my being. So, as I was laying there, week 2 of being bedridden, saying I give thanks for the health of my being that didn't feel true. Because I could not remember what being well felt like. And I was in week 2 of being ill, and I wasn't quite sure what that really meant. But the song's sort of catchy, and I just kept singing it anyway, right? But, we have to ask ourselves, what part of our being is already healthy? And I started thinking about, well, my mind, body, and spirit, my body was struggling, as the kids say, struggle busting, right? My body was struggling, but my spirit wasn't. My spirit was fine. My mind wasn't really ill either. I mean, I've had a little difficulty concentrating, a little foggy, but it's fine. So part of giving thanks for the health of our being, even when we're sick, is noticing which parts of us are well in this moment and giving thanks for that. And when I tell you that every single one of you, by the fact that you're sitting here, means you felt well enough to get in your car, get on the bus, walk here, however you got here, you felt well enough to do it. Did you realize that's something to be grateful for? When we're well, we forget to give thanks for being well. As I laid there too sick to remember what it felt like to be well, I was like, and I can't remember the last time I was healthy, and was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm healthy. Like, we don't think about that. My invitation to you is really think about that. Give thanks that you felt well enough to get here. That's a beautiful thing. And research already shows that there's tons of benefits of gratitude. There's tons of research out there, peer-reviewed, evidence-based research that indicates that being grateful and giving thanks has tons of benefits. You all are aware of this, right? I mean, I know there's been a series of talks here about gratitude. What are some of those benefits? Anybody know? What's the benefits of being grateful? Anybody know what research has said? There's like dozens of things. Can anybody name one thing? What's one evidence-based positive outcome that is a benefit of gratitude? Can anybody name anything? Did you all know that research has shown that there's benefits of gratitude? Let me share it with you. Take a minute and read through this list. This is from University of Southern California. Just one set of studies. There's tons out there. Happiness, energy, sleep longer, resilience, stronger relationships, work harder, boost motivation, performance, build character, be more likely to offer help. Did you know all of this? And just simply giving thanks, there's so much we have to be grateful for. But I'm telling you, if you got here tonight, you have a lot to be grateful for, because this was not me 2 weeks ago. We forget how important it is. We forget there's all these benefits. And this is just a short list. There's so much research out there. You can just Google what is the scientific research on the benefits of gratitude. You'll get pages and pages and pages. Harvard, MIT, USC, and the list goes on. Stanford, the top 10 universities have all conducted this research. So we're almost done here. A couple more things I wanted to share with you. One of the things she says is, I see my cells and atoms healed. So here's where it gets kind of deep, right? Because, you all are familiar with quantum physics. Yes, show of hands. Who's familiar with quantum physics? All right. So there was a talk here a few weeks ago from Yonata. She gave a talk on quantum physics. If you Google quantum physics and you ask what is the definition of quantum physics, it's a relatively simple answer for a very complex body of science that is evidence-based and proven, right? The short answer is that a particle, one particle, can be in two states at the same time. One particle can be in two states at the same time. So when Yonata gave the talk about this, she talked about that if there are multiple states that a particle can be in, and the particle's shifting of states is determined by our thought, right? There's tons of research that shows that, right? So if a particle can be in two states at the same time, then the entire time that I was sick, I was also actually well. I'm going to say that again. If we follow the law of quantum physics, a proven, evidence-based body of science that says that a particle can be in two states at the same time. And our bodies, this physical body, is a collection of particles. And a particle can be in two states at the same time. Then that means at any given time, whatever state we are in, its opposite is also true at the same time. And our experience of that reality is controlled by thought. So if we think about something like magnetism, which we're going to experience after this talk, which will be over in just a few minutes, we'll have an opportunity to receive magnetic chakra balancing. And for those of you that placed water up here, I think I saw, is there a couple bottles of water up here? Okay. Yeah, you can bring your water up now. It's fine. You can, or put it in the back. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and put it in the tray in the back. Yeah, so this water, and we have someone putting water back there too, is going to be magnetized. And the process of magnetizing it is through prayer and intention. There's also tons of evidence-based research that shows that magnetized water, the molecular structure of the water shifts based on the process of intentional magnetization. Two particles can be in two states at the same time. Our bodies are more than 70% water. So if the evidence shows that water can be magnetized and its molecular structure change, and our bodies are more than 2/3 water, I mean, I'll leave it up to you to draw what seems to be a pretty logical conclusion. This is not religion, this is science. We're 70% water. Okay. So she ends the song, "Every day I bless the health I have." And I tell you, I wish I could say, I've been well for 2 weeks now. I wish I could sit up here and stand in front of you and say, every day since I felt better, I bless the health I have. Not so. I got better and immediately forgot what it felt like to be sick. Anybody else ever done that? Like you get better and you completely forget what it's like to be sick. You know, has anyone here ever had a toothache? Just raise your hand if you've ever had a toothache. Okay, when you have a toothache, it is like one of the most excruciating, horrific, you cannot concentrate, you cannot sleep, right? You cannot think of nothing but the pain of the toothache. And when the toothache is gone, how many of us give thanks, I now am in the condition of no toothache? You know, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Zen Buddhist teacher, talks about that being the act of watering the seeds of happiness. That we have so many seeds of happiness, like the state of no toothache, like the state of no flu, like the state of being strong, the state of being free of pain, the state of being free of disease, the state of being able to administer our own thoughts, the state of being able to think positively. Those are all seeds of happiness. We can water those. Usually, what do we water? We water the seeds of suffering. We rehearse and replay. Instead of every day blessing the health we have, every day we replay the horrors that we've experienced. After I just went through this whole thing and planned this whole lecture, you would think I'd like, so this is day 14 of blessing the health I have. No, because I forgot just that fast. Even now, it's a fuzzy memory. So there's power in blessing the health that we have. All that it is required of us is that we actually do it, is actually water those seeds of happiness. And that requires, as my friend said, not just the ability to administer our thoughts, but the actual act of administering our thoughts. It's not just the ability to think positively, but it's actually thinking positively, right? So there's some action that's required on our part. So then, the song ends. She says, and I say. And so I thought, if you take that line by itself, there's power there, right? Because there's the spoken word. There is a lot of power in the spoken word. A lot. Would you all agree with me or no? Is there power in the what's the power in the spoken word? Somebody tell me. Just say it out. Because whatever you say is going to be true. So what's the power of the spoken word? Why is it powerful to make a statement or an affirmation?
Because you're affirming something,
So?
putting out to the world, and you're sending the message, I guess.
Okay. Yes?
Send to the universe, right?
Send to the universe. All of that is true. What else? You mentioned positive thoughts. So if positive thoughts are powerful, what do you think is powerful about positive words?
Like reaffirming what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, everything that you all have said and what we think has the ability to impact how we feel. What we say has even more power to affect how we feel. And it's how we feel. It is the thought or the word plus the feeling that most rapidly produces the alternate state of the particle. It is thought. And concentrated thought combined with the spoken word, combined with the feeling behind it, is a powerful, powerful triumvirate. And so no, she ends the song with, my body, mind, and spirit are healthy. And I didn't count, but we listened to 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and we heard 2 rounds of that, and then she ended with thank you for my healing. And in the 30 minutes of this extended version, I don't know how many times but I had forgotten what it felt like to be well. It's on mute. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I had forgotten what it felt like to be well. So saying thank you for my healing felt, again, a little weird, kind of like, I give thanks for the help that I have. But as I listened to it, I don't know if it was, 20 minutes into the song or 30 minutes, I don't know what point, or, listen number 1 or listen number 100. But I reflected back on the original definition of healing. Remember, the definition said the process of becoming whole. We think about healing as an event. Like I go from not being strong or not being positive or not being disease-free or not being, right, to then being that. But there's a process that unfolds. So what I was able to give thanks for is what was happening. There was this, Cynthia gave me 2 distance treatments. I got more than 1 treatment from the spiritual doctors here. I was praying a lot. There were people praying for me. There was a process that was unfolding. And I was blessing that process, not the end state, but the process. And that's what I'd like to leave you with, is there's so much that we have to be grateful for. We're all starting a new year. Each and every one of you made it here tonight. There's enough wellness in your being to get here. It's something to be grateful for. Give thanks for it. And that's all I had to share with you tonight. Thank you so much for listening. Announcements? Okay. So I think we have some announcements that are coming. I think everyone knows that every Wednesday night we have our public talk here in English, followed by magnetism and the magnetized water. I think that's an old. Do you want me just to speak to it, Luigi, or do you have an updated? Okay. So I think they're bringing it up. But every Wednesday is our magnetized water, our public lecture that's in English, and then on Thursday nights there's spiritual treatment that you can request in the library. And our Thursday night spiritual treatment is designed for like mental and emotional problems. So if you have like anxiety or depression, something happening with our mind or our spirit, right? And then on Friday nights, we have spiritual surgery that's non-invasive. There's no cuts, there's no blood. It's not that sort of surgery. It is spiritual surgery. And you can sign up for that in the library as well. We ask that you come and arrive by 6:30. And so for the spiritual surgery, this is for problems that we have in our body. So we talk about our mind, body, and spirit are healthy. So mind and spirit, Thursday night, body, Friday night. You can sign up for all of that in the library. And everything that we offer here at the center is free of charge. So there's never a cost for anything. And because of that, on Saturdays, we have a dinner that you can purchase. And the dinner each week is cooked by volunteers, and it's some of the most delicious food that you have ever had. It's cooked with love, and you can literally taste the love in the food. And so there's a donation that we ask for the dinner. And so you receive the dinner, and then those donations help us to keep these lights on and the computers running and the doors open, because it's not free to keep the place open. But because we offer all of our services for free, we have these fundraising events like the dinners on Saturday. And on Saturday, we also have a public meeting, but it's in Portuguese. So that's at I believe, at 6 o'clock? 6:30. I don't speak good Portuguese enough yet to come to that, so I didn't have the time down. And then on the second Saturday of every month, we have a yard sale. So throughout the month, if you have any donations of gently used, still serviceable items, we ask you just bring them here to us, and then we'll sort through them. And then the second Friday of the month, that Friday evening, we have a bunch of volunteers that come, and we have a community that sorts through the things and gets them organized for the garage sale. So it's a great way to volunteer if you want to offer yourself in service to our spiritual community. And it's a great way to be in community, to connect and socialize with folks. And then the second Saturday of the month, which I believe is January 13th, 14th, we have our garage sale. And again, that's also staffed by volunteers, and the funds that we receive from the garage sale also help keep our lights on. And so, yoga? Okay, then what announcements am I missing? Someone help me.
We have yoga every second Saturday of the month as well.
Okay.
And that's also, we volunteer the class. There is a donation, and the donation goes 100% towards the center as well.
Wonderful. And then Tuesday nights we have meditation. So Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. we have meditations that's facilitated, and that's in English. So our English nights, Terrence, I know it sounds like you're an English speaker, right? So Tuesday and Wednesday nights are our English speaking nights here. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. we have meditation. Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. we have a spiritual study of life in the spiritual realm. So from 7 to 8 here on Wednesdays in English. 8:15 p.m. Wednesday nights we have this public meeting, followed by magnetized water and magnetic therapy. Right? Any other announcements I'm forgetting? Doing this from memory.
I didn't catch what you said. It's from 7 to 8 on Wednesdays?
7 to 8 on Wednesdays. We have a spiritual study where we have a group of us that speak English, and we're studying a book that's about life in the spiritual world. And so that's from 7 to 8, and you're welcome to join us if you'd like to do that. That's on Wednesdays from 7 to 8. Other than that, 8:15 p.m. is this public meeting, which goes for just about it, as well as we're going to have magnetic passes afterwards with magnetized water. Anything else I'm forgetting with the announcements? All right.
Do you need to know there's something wrong? What about Thursday? You said there's a mental and emotional.
Yeah, so Thursday nights we have spiritual treatment, and then you can sign up for that with in the bookstore or in the library out there, and you don't have to feel like you know that something's wrong. You can just sign up for that, and yes.
It's important to remember that on Thursdays, this treatment is a 5-week treatment. So you come every Thursday, and you do speak with someone privately before.
Oh.
And then
okay.
the Thursday, you come every Thursday for 5 weeks, And it's just a study group where we do a praying and we read a passage from the gospel book, and we also do the healing passes for 5 weeks straight. It's amazing.
Yes, I can certify that. Gone through it more than once and have had amazing results. So I'm also happy to answer any questions about that after the meeting tonight. If you have any, Terrence, I'm happy to do that. So it's time for our passes, and we'll have a short prayer, and then while the passes are taking place, we're going to listen to the song again. So Luigi, as soon as I'm done with the prayer, if we could put the music back on. And then while you're receiving the passes and preparing, let's hold those lyrics in our hearts. So let's close our eyes and prepare ourselves now to receive the passes. So let us take in a breath, breathing out.
My body, mind, and spirit